Hello everyone and welcome to Queen City Airways. Today we're going to be doing a full FlyByWire A320neo tutorial. This will be in different video sections, so today's video is going to be the cold and dark to preparing for pushback. So I hope you guys learned something new in this video and enjoy your flight on Queen City Airways. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to simbrief.com and set up our flight plan, as it makes everything so much easier when we get into the aircraft. So we're going to come over here and go to the dispatch system page, and here we go. We're going to create a new flight, and if you want to copy it, feel free. If not, then you could just put everything you want into this. So today we're going to be British Airways flight 436 from Heathrow to Schiphol. And I'm going to set our time to 10:50 a.m. local time. Okay. And our aircraft is the A320-200neo, and you could go to variant and click on the fly-by-wire version. And then we could generate our flight. It'll take a couple of seconds, and that's it in SimBrief. I'll see you guys back in the flight deck. Alright, welcome to the flight deck of the A320neo. I'm going to come over here to the iPad real quick, and there is our flight plan. If not, you just click right there and it should come up. And there are a few settings here as realism. I have the IRS align time to fast, or else you're going to be waiting 10 minutes. And everything else is pretty much what the normal settings were. Okay, so let's go to the overhead panel. Okay, first thing we want to do is we're going to turn on the batteries 1 and 2, and since we have external power available, we will click on that, and that is going to start everything up. If you don't have external power, you can get the APU started immediately. Okay, now we're going to turn on our nav lights right here, and we're going to come up to the IRSs and put those on nav 1, 2, and 3. Here you come down here, turn the crew supply on, and the ground control. That's it for the overhead panel for now. Alright, now we're going to be down at the FMC. We're going to go to the init page and click on init request, which if you have a SimBrief profile loaded into the plane, you can get your information like the flight plan and your flight number and cruising altitude and all of that stuff with just one click. So I highly recommend that you use SimBrief. Okay, and there you go. We're going to come over to the flight plan, and we are going to click on EGLL Heathrow, click on departure, and our runway is going to be a 7, right? So the BPK7F SID with no transition. And then we're going to click on our airport arrival, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to be ILS runway 06 via the red F1A. And there it is. There is no via there. And insert that. And now, quickly, I'm going to look at the flight plan right here. So we're going to go to plan. And just click that up arrow and make sure you don't have any discontinuities in the route. Like right there. Alright. So I'm just going to connect those. AM110. So click on that and click on AM110 to connect those waypoints. I think it is this one right here, I believe. I do not know why this happens with the lights. Just there we go. Now we have one solid flight plan. We are going to come back over to the tablet over here, click on this little ground truck, come over to fuel. That's what the fuel looks like. We can come over to our load sheet and scroll down, or wherever it is. Nope, there it is. Block fuel 3.9. So we'll come back over here and 3900 and go put it on fast and start refueling. Okay, we'll also start boarding while we're at it. That jet bridge connected, and come over to payload, go to fast and begin boarding. Now we can come back down to our FMC here, go to the fuel page, and our ZFW is going to be 60.59 or 60.6. I'll just do 60 slash whatever the percent is, which is going to be 32.74, so 32.7 is good. Okay, click on fuel planning, block confirm, and there we go. Now I'm going to come over back here, come over to the calculator, fill in that data, and make sure your airport runway are correct. Calculate, and there's our V1 and our V speeds and our flaps and flex temperature. So come over to the perf page, type in those numbers, then 1 for flaps, and our flex out temperature is 69 degrees. There we go. And that is it for the flight plan, or the FMC for now. So I'll just go back to the flight plan page and get that done. Alrighty, back to the overhead panel. I'm going to turn on our emergency lights. I'm going to turn on our no portable electronic devices to on, or auto. Doesn't make a difference. Seatbelts to on. And I'm going to get our fuel pumps on. As well as I'm going to start the APU, click that master switch, wait 3 seconds, and then click start. And on that screen right there,
Boarding
you should
completed.
start to see these numbers go up. Alrighty, once you see that APU avail right there on our screen, come back to the overhead panel and disconnect external power. Then you can come over to the tablet right here, back to the ground services, and get that ground power unit off. And it did also say that boarding was completed, so we can get the jet bridge disconnected. And if you go to this first page, it should tell you what our pressure is. So it's 998. So we're going to switch the QNH to 998 on both sides of our display. As well as on this, don't forget this little screen down here. There we go. And if you come over to the tablet, if you have Navigraph, you can come right here and to our departure airport. And our star today is BPK7F. So come over to SID K7F. And I'm going to pin that. And our transition altitude is 6,000. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the autopilot panel. Go. Everything else right on this side should have that closed dot right there, and both flight directors should be on. The last thing we're going to come down here and do is we're going to come to our ATC panel and set this right here to auto. Keep that on standby right there. And that is it for our Cold and Dark 2 ready for pushback tutorial. In the next video, we will be going from pushback to takeoff and cruise. So come back for that video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, turn notifications on so that you do not miss the next tutorial. Again, thank you for watching and see you next time.